Welcome back, riders. Today is number 9 of 25 Days of Coasters. Today is a unique roller coaster. In a way, it's kind of two roller coasters. That's also a big reason why I love it and have it ranked as my favorite roller coaster in California. Today's roller coaster is Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain. First, we'll start with the stats and background as always. Twisted Colossus is yet another Rocky Mountain construction conversion to crack my top 25, and this one specifically opened in 2015. Twisted Colossus used the old structure of the world famous Colossus roller coaster. Colossus was a dueling or racing, I think they're synonymous, I don't know, wooden roller coaster that actually opened as the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster in 1978. So it was a pretty big deal when it opened. Also, being located near Los Angeles, it was featured in many movies and shows, music videos, you name it. Most famously, it was Screaming Mimi and National Lampoon's Vacation. Also, as a fun fact, I guess I should say, Colossus was two roller coasters side by side, so a lot of my viewers are probably familiar with American Eagle at Six Flags Great America. You know, it's got the red side and blue side. Colossus was the same way. But a fun fact though, I was actually able to ride Colossus. I did only one side, and it was a backwards ride. It was actually the last year it was open, and so that was cool. Me and my dad rode it, and actually, when we were loading onto the ride, my dad found someone's phone when we were boarding, so that was definitely different. We went ahead and turned it in. My dad was the savior. But yeah, like I said, two different sides. Maybe not different sides, but like separate, if that makes sense. I feel like I need to get this out of the way and explain what a Mobius loop coaster is before I go any further. The original Colossus wooden roller coaster was, like I've been saying, two separate tracks or roller coasters, but they shared the same like support system and structure, and they ran side by side. So what Rocky Mountain Construction did when they converted Colossus into Twisted Colossus was they made it a Mobius loop coaster. What does that mean? What that means is when the original Colossus was two different rides, sides, tracks, whatever, Twisted Colossus combined both sides to make one huge coaster. This is a huge selling point for Twisted Colossus because it's like you get two rides for the price of one. And both rides are excellent, but keep in mind it is one ride. Because Twisted Colossus is a Mobius loop coaster, the stats are a little funky. Twisted Colossus has two lift hills, so when I say the ride has a top height of 121 feet, it has a drop of 128 feet, and the drop is 80 degrees, and the max speed is 57 miles per hour, you hit all of those stats two separate times during the ride. So you could kind of understand what I mean by two rides for the price of one now. In total, there is 4,990 feet of track and two inversions for both sides combined. The feet of track too. That's combined, that's the entire ride. I've been able to ride this 20 times between one full day in 2021 and parts of 3 days this past spring. Now onto the ride proper. You start the ride on the blue side. After dispatch, you have a very long pre-lift section. You have a small dip followed by two airtime hills, two outer bank turns, and another airtime hill before engaging in the lift hill. In reality, you're moving way too slow to get any real forces, but I still enjoy it. It's a small little appetizer. Next after that is the lift hill, and obviously the lift hill is preceded by the drop. This is another fantastic drop. It's not super big, but it packs a good punch because it's both steep and it goes to the right a little bit, like it turns to the right a little bit. So it gives you some laterals too. It's definitely, I don't want to say it's like completely unorthodox or anything, but it's not just a basic drop. It's got a little flavor to it, and I like it. After the drop, you hit a speed hill, and this is actually one of my favorite speed hills on an RMC. I'm not sure what it is about this one specifically, but I feel like it gives you the same ejector while also being a little more sustained than the average RMC speed hill. This leads to an airtime hill and to a left-hand turn. This gives some awesome ejector. After that, you have the high five element, which is essentially a small wave turn. This is just okay unless you're actually dueling with another train. If that's the case, then it's pretty awesome, being able to like almost high five everyone. But on its own, it's not the best. After that, you hit a pretty sizable drop as you plummet like right back to the ground towards Earth. After that, you hit another speed hill, this one being more average for an RMC, and then you hit a great airtime hill that gives some sustained ejector airtime. After that, you hit a 0G roll, but this one is slightly different than the copy and paste ones I've been talking about and bashing on a little bit. I think Twisted Colossus's 0G roll is a lot bigger than the copy and paste ones. It's got like a little, it feels a little floatier than the copy and paste ones, and this is definitely one of my favorite rolls on an RMC. After that, you hit a double up, giving more awesome airtime. This is followed by an overbank turn to the left for that'll be the last good moment on the blue side. You then hit some brakes and the track color changes from blue to green and you engage with the second lift hill which runs parallel to the first one. The green side is both similar and different to the blue side. You start with the same awesome drop, the same awesome speed hill, and the same awesome airtime hill to the left-hand turn. The first difference, or at least major difference, is the high five element. On the green side, you hit a wave turn, but you enter and exit it the opposite way. So it gives some awesome laterals and is much crazier and snappier than the wave turn on the blue side. After the high five element, the green side has a double down while going back to the ground. This is inferior to the one big drop on the blue side in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, the double down is still great. I just preferred the single moment with more sustained airtime on the blue side over the quick two pops that the green side has. After the double down, the green side enters the 0G stall. This is the better version of the two, especially if you actually get a ride where you're dueling. This is the same moment that the blue side has an airtime hill directly under the green 0G stall. So it is for sure an interactive moment. It's like another it's not a high five element, but it almost feels like you can high five them if you're dueling and they're under you. After the stall, you have a weaker turn to the left. You then have the same double up as the blue side, and then a couple smaller turns that eventually leads to the brake run. So altogether, this is my favorite mid-size RMC. I don't want to say that that's the case exclusively because you get two rides for the price of one. I do like both halves on their own, but it is extremely hard to beat having two fantastic drops and an insanely long ride when you combine it together. Altogether, you are on the ride for over 3.5 minutes. There is hardly any other coasters that can say that. Now, if only they could do the same thing to American Eagle at Six Flags Great America. So that is all I've got for today. Who has been on Twisted Colossus? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Sorry for the lack of photos again. These were really bad. I feel like Twisted Colossus is pretty hard to photograph inside the park. And obviously I'm not going to take a lot of pictures in the parking lot. So sorry. If you want to see some better footage, I'm sure Canopy Coaster has it in his review that is in the description below. And he'll have a deeper analysis too if you want to go check that out. But with that, I hope to see you all tomorrow. Push down, pull up, exit to the right. Hope you enjoyed the video and go have your greatest day yet. Choo choo, bye.